The land, the animals, the caribou means everything to us. The land is a way of healing and keeping connected to our natural way of being a human being.
There's always been a cultural connection to the caribou, where their existence equals our existence. That's why we protect them.
The beauty of the caribou plan that Artemis and the Indigenous nations, provincial government and federal government have agreed upon is the way it interacts with parts of the environment which are extremely important to our First Nations partners.
Those initial years were really spent identifying what was living there, what was using the site, and what could be affected by developing the mine and how we would minimize those impacts. The herd local to Blackwater is called the Tweeds Mirintiako herd. Its population has been dwindling over the last number of years.
They've suffered a tremendous amount of cumulative impacts on the land. That has to do with logging, cut blocks, access roads, essentially all of the different activities that have been out of the land have all taken their toll on the caribou.
When the Blackwater mine went through the EA process, it was committed to that there'd be a caribou mitigation monitoring plan. It had to be jointly developed between the federal government, the provincial government, and the local Indigenous nations. And I think the three levels of government gained clarity on how do we best support restoration and conservation for the herd.
One of the key aspects of this plan is the securement of Capoose. That is the high elevation winter range that's currently being utilized by caribou. That high elevation winter range, 11,000 hectares, will be secured for 50 years.
By setting that area aside, the company is foreclosing the opportunity to develop for a 50-year period of time. There's another element of the plan, which is a cash contribution the company is making.
Through our negotiations with Artemis, we have $2.7 million. We're looking at restoring over 300 kilometers of road.
We'll be having 271 hectares of land restored.
The nations want to drive that element of the offsetting plan themselves, and it's about putting their people back out on the land and creating new habitat for the caribou.
We have three priorities: predator control, calving, and habitat restoration.
Success to me is protecting the herd and also increasing the herd population. I really believe what's important now is that we have our plans in place and that we have our own conservation officers to monitor our plans.
It is a privilege to be able to partner and work with our Indigenous nations to do something about Tweedsmuir and to help accommodate the growth and rehabilitation of that herd.
I truly believe this is precedent setting. Words can't describe how it would feel if you could see caribou out there again.
All the generations of Ulkatcho will be able to have that herd. That's success.